Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Hi. David's Kitchen is up and running. Welcome. Hi. Thank you for coming in. We've got the mic on. I think that's working. Good. Today we're going to be making another really low-cost meal. I'm sure you're interested. Hi, if you're watching the Bottle Rockets movie, it just ended. Yeah, he went to prison, just so you know. Yeah. Quite a movie. Hey, getting in the chat room. Getting in there right now. Okay, I'm going to be watching the chat. I am not a robot, no. Today we're going to be making some pork because it's the best thing I could find for a low cost. Yeah, believe it or not. I remember I said I was going to eat pork, and it looks better than better all the time. Look at this. I went to the store today, and I found a 30% off this huge double-sized piece of pork, which I'm going to save half of it for another meal. And it was $6.79 original price, so it's down to under $5 with a 30% off. So I got literally a piece of meat. Nice piece of meat there. I'm going to cut off for $2.50. Yeah, so let's get started on that. But first, I think I'm going to start the water for the noodles because I'm going to be making some organic noodles I picked up at Kroger. These are the only organic, Simple Truth organic egg noodles on the market. So I'm using less than a half a bag, 1/3 of a bag, so it's no more than 60 cents of noodles. So between this and the pork, we're looking at about, so far, $3. Yeah. Okay. And I've got $2 to spare just for vegetables and whatnot. All right, let's do this. No, I'm keeping it really, look at this. I mean, talk about the piece of meat. This is going to be saved in the freezer, this one right here. So I'm going to cut the package over here and pull this piece out. I told the lady this is the cheapest meat in the entire area, literally. We're talking $17.50 for beef. For just a slab of beef about this size would be $17.50. So, yeah, I'm going back to pork. Yeah, I made the commitment. So this will be the dinner for 4. We chop it up and cut it up and put noodles on it. Let me bring that up forward for you. Yeah, just ways of saving money, folks. So I'm going to get the pan going here at level 3, right there. And we're going to get the hot water going over there at level 3 as well. So, yeah. And I am going to add a little Himalayan sea salt to the water. So that'll be good. Noodles don't take that long, so once it gets to a full boil, we'll pre-cook the noodles and we'll add it to the dish. Okay, this is a very simple meal to make, so you just get started with cutting the meat. And I've got that really nice knife from Meow TV. Always look at the knife when you're cutting. If you see any sinew, you want to pull that back like I'm doing right here. See that? You don't want any grizzle or sinew in pork. The nice thing about pork is you can actually eat it. It's tender enough to eat. I mean, even better than beef, I think. And this is a fresh piece of pork that was just marked down today. So, yeah, anytime you can save money on meat, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, I'm gonna take that sinew and just kind of shave off of it, going down with a knife. There you go. The knife is too sharp. I don't think you can ever have a too sharp knife. These are the really good sharp knives from Damask Steel in Syria. The ones that, Meow TV sent me. The original Meow TV, not the one that's pretending to be Meow TV. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you don't really want that, but something, you can cook with that. So I'm going to throw that in the pan right now as a form of oil. So Yeah, I'm just going to throw it in the pan. I'll pull it out once it's hot. But yeah, it's something you can actually cook with. My mother used to cook pork rinds, and it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't do that personally. It can, pork rinds are actually pretty high in cholesterol. But that's part of a diet plan. I think the South Beach diet uses that. The Atkins diet originally used pork rinds. I remember my father would eat pork rinds when he was losing weight. It's like, are you sure you want to eat that for cholesterol wise? Are you sure? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea to eat that much saturated fat. But hey, here I'm eating meat, so. Yeah, the other piece of meat was better, so I went with I'm putting that away in the freezer. So I prefer it using the worst meat first. Now this is extreme budgeting. This is like really, really low cost food cooking. You go to McDonald's, it's going to cost you, $20 or so just to get dinner. Whereas this is a much cheaper way. I'm going to throw a little oil in the pan to get that grizzle going. Yeah, I just want to get it cooking. Oh, we got a boil already. Look at that. Okay, so we'll start out with a this dinner calls for vegetables of some sort, and I've got factored in $2 for vegetables. So I'm going to throw some broccoli in the water. Yeah. Now I like to cook with peas too. Peas and pork work really well. But of course, broccoli is really good for that nutritional aspect. Canned peas. Yeah, I've got a can of peas here. I paid 50 cents for this in 2013. And it really is due. I need to eat it. Hello? Thank you. 2013. So I need to eat that. I'm going to put that in toward the end of the meal. But yeah, break off some stalks of the heads of these and throw them in the water. Get the water going with broccoli. Yeah, just throw the heads in there. Then I'm going to cook with the stalks in the pan. This makes for an interesting noodle dish, which has more nutrition in it. Yeah, you like to cook with noodles? They're the easiest thing of all to cook. If you need to take things on a road trip, noodles are really... And that is the only organic noodle on the market, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there and get that up to a boil again. Meanwhile, I'm just going to keep cutting the pork. Okay. Yeah, I'm just making nice tight cuts so that it's bite-sized, basically. No one will need to use a knife at the dinner table. And we're going to put that pork, we're going to season it with some marinade. And I'm getting the end of a bottle of marinade here that I picked up. I got this for 25 cents, so see that X mark on it? That's an old marinade I picked up. Believe it or not, these things actually are good long term. You don't have to worry about marinades. There's so much vinegar in them, you can buy them old and they'll still last and last. Yeah, that's 10 years old, that marinade. Yeah. Then you can buy really high-end products like, I just picked up this product the other day, or another Simple Truth organic at Kroger. I got this for $2.50. It's organic barbecue sauce. Have you ever seen such a thing? Excuse me. Peace be upon you too, but we're not going to be giving you any time here. Sorry. On a scale from 1 to 10, what? Yeah, I'm using my pork hand for the pork and my clean hand for the desktop computer or the laptop computer. Excuse me. Yes. No, the peas are fine. I mean, I come from a family of pea people. My mother's side they were the pea counters in England. Peas were a form of currency back in the 1500s, prior to Isaac Newton. There was a lot of forms of currency back then, but yeah. So my family actually were involved in that. I guess they were like bean counters or something. I don't take after them. I'm not a bean counter, but I do like peas. Yeah, get those grizzled things in there and just have them cook on the pan. It won't hurt. I'll pull them out just a bit. Okay, still going with the meat here. I hear you. Yeah, and today at $2 in vegetables, I've got a few. I've got a half of a lipstick pepper that I paid 50 cents for, so that's 25 cents. That's about 50 cents for the broccoli, about 50 cents for the onion, organic onion, and a few mushrooms. So we're not looking at much. Of course, I do have to factor that in. That probably takes it up above the number I'm looking for. But you can make this meal for $5. Now, if you're running out of like real meat, there's some products in the market you can buy for food storage, and I'll show you what they are. This is a new product. Yeah, this is made by the same company, uncured turkey bacon. And they're already pre-made out of the box. You could literally crumble those into the dinner and add a source of meat from a dry storage thing. Yeah, there's a lot of dry storage options. Okay, almost done. It looks like a pretty good boneless beef pork rib. And I was surprised. I was able to get 2 meals for a $5 pork rib. So I've got another meal planned for this as well. So I'm only using $2.50 worth of meat. Okay, I got a full boil over here on the broccoli heads. Yeah, so I could cook the rinds, and actually, you know, if you really are hungry, you can eat the rinds. Now I'm going to throw these noodles in that water. It's just a third of a bag, so it's not much at all. You can stretch these bags and make 3 meals out of them. Okay. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to throw some of that marinade on the pork. Yeah, I have enough for one more marinade, so I've got another actual marinade in the bottle here. It doesn't take a lot. It's just quite a bit of salt in there, so you know you don't have to worry too much about it. All right, good. But yeah, you can step it up to a higher level, you know, in terms of ingredients. You can always add better ingredients. I'm going to move all those noodles around with the broccoli so they can cook together. And I like to throw a little Italian seasoning in the water whenever I cook the broccoli. So, and I showed you this really cheap Italian seasoning I got at Walmart for 98 cents. Still there. Yeah. So I'll throw a little of that in the water. It helps the flavoring of the noodles, and also, you know, provides you oregano, which is very good for your body. Today we're going to be cooking with onions, so I want to cook the onion and the pork at the same time. So I'm going to throw the pork in right away. And as far as these rinds are concerned, yeah, I can put those aside. And of course, you can feed these to a dog too once you cook them. You got to cook them thoroughly though. I'm going to compost them, but you know, you don't eat them. I'm going to throw this right in a hot pan, right as it is. You got that sizzle going. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, you want to start browning it, and I'm going to start cutting the onion too. It does require a lot of onion because onion really makes the dinner fantastic. This is a big onion. So you can go with a medium-sized onion. In fact, I'm going to save the other part of the onion for another meal. So I'm just going to put that one away. I'm cutting my costs too. But that's enough onion right there. And you know, a lot of people don't cook for themselves. They eat out all the time. And it's like, why are you doing that? You can save so much money cooking for yourself. Nice slice, even about a 1/4 inch on the onions. And always keep your fingers pointed down and your eye on the knife. Very sharp knife. Okay, we're going to put that in the pan while we're cooking the pork. And you can leave the cover off, and if you want at this point. I'm going to prep the broccoli base to this. And this area you can actually cut with right away. I'm going to water it down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you can actually start cutting right away. It's not like the base of the stock, which has a hard part on the base of the stock. You can just cut this as it is. Slice is pretty easy. And get that in the pan with the pork, cooking at the same time. And I'm going to use my other knife to make the cut. More of a dice cut. This is a rolling French blade, which has a curl on it, so you can put the tip down and then you can just rock it nice and tight. This adds a tremendous amount of nutrition to your meal. Broccoli has been known to have very good qualities for nutrition. Okay, I'm going to throw that on top of the pork. There we go. And I'll prep this pepper that I've got, half a pepper. You can use that too. Just don't eat the seeds. Sarah's got a big thing about seeds. So. Okay, I'm going to give that a little stir back here. I'm going to take that temperature up to level 6. Because you really want to get that pork cooked, and I am going to cover it up. Actually, I'm going to put a little water on this plate. And that creates the steam fry. Okay. I'm going to give those noodles a stir with the broccoli. We're doing good. You know, I really don't really get into eating food that's inorganic, but you know, the pepper is from Mexico. I don't know how they grow it. I do rinse them off, but you know, you can't always buy organic, and I don't recommend worrying about that. It all works out in the end. Just like you can't always have non-GMO food. It's not like it's a little bit of non-GMO is not going to hurt you. In the long run, if you eat it for 30 years, you might have a problem if you eat genetically modified food. But that's, you know, that's if you look at the laboratory animal studies. And don't use the mushrooms. Okay, we'll pass on the mushrooms. As you know, this is an interactive broadcast, so you just made a decision to pass on the mushrooms. I appreciate that, yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead and put the peppers on top of this as well. Okay. Cap it off. I'm going to put this in the compost heap, which I put under the sink here. And that's getting full. I'm going to have to dump it later tonight. So this is going in the freezer, and I'm going to go ahead and put this other package in the freezer. I'm going to get a piece of plastic from my section over here. I keep plastic bags. I keep bags that are, you know, fully functional. Like this plastic bag right here. That'd be perfect. Yeah, you want to definitely cover the pork tightly and zip it out without any air in it, because that's going to be a long-term freezer out. So this goes in my archive of frozen food items that I'm ready to, pull from if I ever need it. There we go. Yeah, and if it's past due, this is literally put out today, so it's really, really fresh. Now what I like to do is throw a little hot sauce in this dish. So today I'm going to be cooking with a little bit of V8 from a jar. Yeah, it's one of the, I'll put that in just a bit. I'm still trying to steam fry all the pork. I'll give it a stir. That's good. Try not to compromise the heat too much. The marinade had some salt in it, so yeah, I could make another meal just like this, and it wouldn't cost me more than the same amount. That's the one thing about going to a market, and I literally was looking at $24 piece of beef, about the same size as this pork. 24 bucks, 17 bucks for a piece of ribeye, and it was like this big. I was going, this is ridiculous, I was thinking of making sauerbraten, which my grandmother made, which back in the 1930s and 40s it was a common meal, but that required a big piece of chuck, and that would have cost me about 15 bucks. So I went with the pork option and the noodles because it gives you a little more hearty flavor. Rice is an option. You can always add brown rice to this, pre-made or cooked, or make it. Yeah, and checking on the noodles, they look ready. Okay, I'm going to turn that water off from the noodles back there, because all that's al dente, and I'm going to let it cook at its own heat. That technique works great if you're out in the open, with an open fire, or out there, in a motel room with a hot plate. You can pretty much turn stuff off, take it to heat, turn it off, and it'll heat some more and finish the cooking job. But I'm gonna pop the cover on that. Once it's finished boiling down, this is really cooking. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the peas because I do want to eat this can from 2013. But I am gonna rinse it out. So let me rinse the top. Even has dust on it. So let's go ahead and open the top on that. See, it's a dented can. I think I got this for 50 cents back in the day. But, it's fine. As long as the can's not pushing out, that's a serious problem if it is. We'll drain it out in the sink. And I'm going to give it a rinse, too. I'm going to throw some filtered water in there. Give it a little shake, especially since it's 10 years past due, and rinse that out. Okay. And you lose that weird pea flavor when you put it in a dish like that. I'm going to throw it right on top. Give it a mix. The pork is done, but it's now ready to start, finishing off. Now you can throw some things on there that might be good. I've got a little Patty LaBelle the no salt seasoning that I like so much. You can use curry, you can use anything here. Rosemary is good with pork, but not in the noodle dish, I don't think. And I'm going into a tomato base. So I'm going to put some cumin in here too. All right, and I'm going to throw a couple cloves of garlic too. Whoopsie. Okay, get that garlic off the shell. It's good to go. Smells good. And I'm just going to dice it up really tight. Yeah, I just happen to have a lot of these cans because I got them for next to nothing. So I'm just going to throw this in on top of it, V8 juice. It's a low salt V8, so there's some salt in it. And I'm going to put some Patti LaBelle number 3 habanero on top of this. Just about 6 shakes should do it, and I'm going to throw all that on top. Keep it at level 6. Move the garlic around so it nests with everything, and cover it right back up, and bring that up to a high heat again. Hello. This is not good. What the heck happened to that cover? Huh. Oh, there it is. I was wondering if it was in the meal. I was like, where's the top of that? It's like sitting right here. I didn't want to put it in the meal, man. Hey, what's this cap I'm eating? Dude, that's like the hot sauce, dude. Sorry. Okay, that noodle dish is simmered down. We're going to get ready to dump it in the sink. And of course, if you're really into it, you could probably save the juice for soup if you really want to save that. Yeah, soup of all things. Then go right ahead and put that right on top of the meal. Okay, keep that at level 6, and we'll get that going to a high temperature, mix it up, and top it off, and we'll be done with dinner. Yeah, I didn't believe that they're going to overturn Roe v. Wade, but it happens. Yeah. Stranger things have happened in our world. I'm not in favor of it, but that's just me. I know a lot of people seem to think it's a good idea, but I don't know. Okay, so here we are. Lots of recyclables. Yeah, I just made a trip to the recycling bin, so I'm just gonna. Those go in separate containers, but I'm gonna put them in the same for now. All right, that's aluminum and tin recycling. Well, isn't this special? Yeah, and you didn't think I could cook all that in less than 30 minutes. I know. Thank you, Ridiculous. Yeah, and you're completely done with dinner. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to give it one more stir and top it off with a little Parmesan cheese, because I really like Parmesan cheese in my meals. It kind of sets the taste. Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm bare feet. Yeah, I always go bare feet whenever I cook. I'm Native American, a small amount. Okay, we're going to give it a stir. Bring everything from the bottom to the top. Rotate, rotate, rotate. You get that flavoring going. Beautiful. Okay. All right, everything's done. I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. Put some Parmesan cheese on, and we're done. You can also put pepper on here. You can also put any number of other herbs and spices, but I'm literally going to turn it off now. I'm going to let it set in its own heat, and we're pretty much ready to serve later. Okay, that's David's Kitchen for Quickie. Thank you for watching. We'll be in the other show in just a few minutes. Thank you. These are getting easier and easier, aren't they? I know. They're all wondering how I can cook so efficiently. Because I'm Mr. Right.
It's alright. I will give you time. 'Cause of you.
Take care, everybody. Good night. See ya. See you in a few minutes.